questions 17 to 20. Here we have a set which talks about a credit rating agency which rates companies on two parameters, the fundamental rating and the technical rating. So essentially the company gives ratings on the fundamental aspects and the technical aspects, and it is given that the rating is given on a scale of 1 to 10, right? And on each of the two parameters, so 1 to 10 here, 1 to 10 here, maximum and minimum values. The overall rating of any company is the product of the technical and fundamental ratings. The overall rating here is a product of the technical and fundamental ratings, which is how these 56 and 42 have been arrived at. The rating assigned to each company on each parameter is an integer. The ratings are integer ratings 1 to 10. Further, no company got the same rating on both the parameters and no two companies got the same rating on any parameter. Now, this is a very important point that one needs to keep in mind. The rating assigned to each company on each parameter is an integer, and no company got the same rating on both the parameters and no two companies got the same rating on any parameters. No two companies got the same rating on any parameters, which means repetition of the same value this way is not possible. That is the second point. No company got the same rating on both the parameters. Repetition of the same value for a company across the ratings is also not possible. So, this repetition is not allowed. This repetition is also not allowed. When I say repetition, it is the same number coming in. So, 1 and 1 not possible. 8 and 8 not possible. So, 1 and 1 here or 8 and 8 here is also not possible. So, that is what repetition across columns and across rows, or across rows and across columns would mean, which is what is the interpretation of the statement here in brackets. So, that is the key point that one needs to keep in mind for this question. The table gives the partial information about the ratings obtained by the companies. So, partial information meaning whatever is missing is not available, whatever is given is only available. And there is some additional information which is given to us, which says that based on the overall rating, based on the product of these two parameters, the agency has assigned grades as below. So, meaning based on this value, a company will either get a B minus or a B or an A minus or A plus based on wherever it falls within those bands. That is the information that is given to us. So, let us look at the questions. Quickly understanding the questions is needed to see how is it that we will proceed. Now, the questions, particularly whenever there are gaps in terms of the information that is given to us, the questions give us an indication of how is it that the information will eventually be available for us to be filled. Is the complete table filled? Will the complete table get filled, or will it only be partially filled with some possibilities and cases emerging? Which companies were assigned an A plus grade? Which means there is for sure whatever number of companies that are in A plus grade, we can find out, because the question doesn't indicate any doubt. Which company is A plus? These are the companies we should be able to answer. So, that is something with certainty we should be able to know. Which of the following statements is definitely true? Now, the term definitely true tells us that there are some possibilities of some things happening, not happening. So, which means we may not be able to completely fill the table. That's only a may not. Keep that in mind. Which of the following companies was assigned a B grade? So, B also or at least some of the only one of the companies which has been assigned B grade is listed here in the options. That is also a possibility. How many companies received a fundamental rating of at least 4 and a technical rating of at least 6? So, at least these cases should be, let's say, definitely determined. So, let's go back to the information that is given to us and see what can we arrive at. Now, we know that there is no repetition possible here, this way or also across the rows. Now, what are the values that are yet to be filled here? We have 1, we don't have 2, we don't have 3, we don't have 4, we have 5, don't have 6, 7 and 9. So, 4 values available, 6 values not available. Now, here we have 3 values available, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. All these values can come here, right? Now, if you look at the table, the overall parameters column, 56. How is 56 possible? 56 is possible, but 56 is a product of 2 values. So, let's say 2, I can have 2 as one of the ratings. If I have 2 as one of the ratings, what should the other rating be? It should be 28. Now, is 28 possible as a rating to be given? No, because the scale is only 1 to 10. So, which means 2 and 28 is not possible. 3 is not a factor of 56. If it is 14, which is also not possible, 5 is not a multiple, 6 is not a multiple, 7 is a multiple, 7 8s are 56. So that is one possibility, 7 and 8. So 7 here, 8 here, or 8 here, 7 here is a possibility. 9 is not a multiple, 10 is not a multiple. If we go to 11, 12, 13, all those would only reduce. In this case, thankfully, we don't need to go because 11, 12 and 13, we cannot go because anyways, they are more than 10. So 7 and 8 is the only pair which can give us 56. Now, say, will it be 8, 7 or 7, 8? Because 8 is already here. It has to be 7 here and 8 here. Similarly, if you look at 42, 42, 2 and 21, 21 is out. 3 and 14, 14 is out. 4 is not a multiple, 5 is not a multiple, 6 and 7. 8 is not a multiple, 9 is not a multiple, 10 is not a multiple, 8 is not a factor, 9 is not a factor, 10 is not a factor. So 6 and 7 are the only possibilities. So 7 is already here. We have just penciled in 7. So it has to be 6 here and 7 here, right? Now, out of the values that we have put in here, we can therefore delete 6 and 7 in this case. So 2, 3, 4 and 9 are the values that are remaining. 8 and 7 are taken out of this. So 3, 5, 6, 9, 10. Now, we know if you look at the table, always try to look for how do we proceed further. Whatever two values that are available, we were luckily able to find out the combinations for them. Now, what and how should we proceed now? For that, you need to look at the additional data that is available. This is something that we have not focused much on. Now, in this, there is data and there is also extreme kind of data. What is extreme kind of data? 86 to 100. Now, why is 86 to 100 extreme kind of data? You need to understand that overall rating is a product, the product of two numbers. Now, we need two numbers between 1 and 10 to give us a product between 86 and 100. Now, 8 8s is 64, not between 86 and 100. 9 9s is 81, still not between 86 and 100, which means the only two numbers which can give us a product between 86 and 100 will be 9 and 10 90 or 10 and 10 100. Now, 10 and 10 is not possible because repetition of rating across columns is not allowed. So, which means there are two companies which are therefore getting a rating of 9 and 10 and 10 and 9, because only then will they be falling under this band 86 to 100. So, which are these two companies which are getting a rating of 9 and 10? Clearly, there is a 10 here, which means the corresponding rating should be 9 here for this company, and the overall rating for this would be 90, and this will become an A plus company, right? So, which is the other company which can get a 9 and 10 rating? This got a 10 and 9. Now, we need to look for 9 and 10. Is 9 and 10 possible for P? No, because it's already at 1. Q? No, it already has 8. R? No. S? No. T? U? V? W? Yes, it has two vacancies. X has only one vacancy. Y has only one vacancy, which means W will be the company which will get a rating of 9 and 10, giving it a total of 90 and making it another A plus company. So, we therefore can answer the question which companies were assigned an A plus grade. Clearly, it is U and W. W and U will be the answer for this question. So, keep in mind that even without working out the entire table, we have been able to answer some questions. So, this is something that you need to keep in mind. Even if you are not able to crack the entire information, sometimes just with partial information, some of the questions could potentially be answered. Now, let's proceed and see what else can be done. Quickly, let's put out the rating bands of these two, 56 and 42. 56 would be in the A minus range, 56 will be in the A minus range, and 42 will be in the B plus range. Now, how many companies are there in the A minus range? Only one company. We have accounted for that. How many companies are there in the B plus range? Again, only one company. We have accounted for that. How many companies are there in the A plus range? Two companies. We have accounted for those two companies. So, which means the remaining 6 companies, the 1 to 25 band B minus and 26 to 40 band B. These 6 companies are something that we need to account for. So, now here out of the available values, we took care of 9 and 10. So, these two are out, and here we have plotted 9 in. So, this is out. So, we have 2, 3, 4 which will come here and 3, 5, 6 which will come here. Now, what is the maximum rating? Because 6 is the maximum number that is possible here. Where can I put 6 so that I can get the maximum possible rating? If I put 6 here, 8 6 are 48. If I put 6 here, I'll get a rating of 48. Can I allow another company into 48? 41 to 55. There is only one company, we have already accounted for that, which means 48, 6 cannot come here. I cannot allow 6 here. Which means, what is the next possibility? Check for 5. If I put 5 here, I'll get 40. Yes, 40 is okay. Because I need a company in the 26 to, I need 2 companies in the 26 to 40 band. So one of them could potentially be this. I'm not saying it is that, but if it is not that, then if I put 3 here, out of the remaining 3 numbers, 1, 2 and 3 values, 6 is not allowed because I don't have a band to fit the company in if it is 48. 5 is okay. If I put 3, it goes to 24. If it goes to 24, mind you, this company is not coming into the B band. We need 2 companies in the B band. Now, which other company, if this company at all does not come into the B band, we need to fit 2 companies into the B band. Which will those 2 companies be? That is a question that we need to answer. So, for a moment, let's assume that it is 3. If it is 3, then we have 5 and 6 to go with. 5 and 5, same rating, not allowed, which means this has to be 6. If this becomes 6, out of 3, 5, 6, 3, 6 are taken, this will be 5. Now, if this is 5, then 3, 6, 5 is a unique combination. 6 is not possible. Let's put 5 here and see what are the possibilities. If 5 goes here, then we have 6 and 3. So, can it be 3 and 6 or 6 and 3? Either ways, if we have 6 here, 5, 6 are 30. 30 will make it a B level company. But then this will also be a B level company because 5 8s 40 and 6 5s 30 is a possibility. So, 6 5, 5 6 3 or 5 3 and 6. Why? 5 3 is 15. It's okay. It will become a B minus company, which is all right. So, I am eventually overall making this either a B minus company with 24 points or a B company with 40 points. This is becoming a 5 6 is 30 and 30, which is a B company, or 5 3 is 15, B minus company. So, there are 3 different possibilities here. We don't know which of them is correct. So, let's hold on to that and shift the glance here. Now, the bigger question that one needs to take a pause here and ask, why go through all this? Can I quickly go through these remaining questions and see which of them can be answered? And then if required, come back and answer this. Maybe we could do that. Let's quickly try and do that. Which of the following statements is definitely true? The overall rating of all the 10 companies can be determined uniquely. Doesn't look like the case. The grades of all the 10 companies can be determined uniquely. Is it the case? We don't know as yet unless we go through this information. So, let's park this question and come back to it. Which of the following companies is assigned a B grade? PQRW. W is not a B grade, we know. PQR, we don't know as yet. So, we cannot answer the question yet. How many companies received a fundamental rating of at least 4 and a technical rating of at least 6? So, at least 4 fundamental rating, we know 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have these companies Q, S, T, U, V, W. Out of these 4, a technical rating of at least 6. Now, out of this, we know C satisfies the condition because of 8, U, V, W. These all do. But then, what about Q or S? At least 6. 5 and 6. One of these companies, definitely yes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5 would be the answer because if 6 comes here or goes there, because this 8 is anyway satisfying the first part, 5 is also satisfying the first part of at least 4. So, one of these 2 companies will anyways get a 6. So, this company cannot get a 6 at all. So, this company needs to get a 6. But then, if 6 comes here, there is a possibility of 6 going here. So, maybe we cannot answer this question as yet. So, let's go back and stay with the second question and see if we can fill this column. Now, looking at this column has, if you notice, very small numbers 2, 3 and 4. Now, 2, 3 and 4, we need to keep in mind that we need to get 2 companies into the B band, 26 to 40. How many companies do we have currently in the B band? 0. So, we need to send 2 companies into the B band. And what are the 2 candidates that we have here? Right now, we have this as a possible candidate, 5 6 are 30, 26 between 26 to 40, and 8 5 are 40 between 26 to 40. Other than these 2 companies, these 4 companies are fixed. right? Their bands have already been set, and the remaining companies 1, 2, 3, they have their initial the fundamental rating values as only very small 2, 3 and 4. So if I give the maximum here, this will get only 4 points. If I give the maximum here, it will get only 16 points, which is not enough for it to go to company B. If I give the maximum value here, it will get only 8 points. 4 2 is 8, which means it will not get into the band B, which means these two companies, I need to push these two companies into the second band. Now, which means for these two companies to move into the second band, for this company, for example, 6 cannot come here. With 3, it cannot move into band B, which means this has to be a 5. And if you look at this company, with 6, it can go into band B, but with 3, it cannot go into band B. So, if this is out, this 6 is out, 3 is out, which means 5 and 6 is the only possibility. So, therefore, this 5 is also out. So, which means these are the two companies which will go into band B with an overall rating of 40 and 30. So, now we know the 1, 5, now here because we have used 5 and 6 here, we can cross out the 5 here and 6 here and fix the value 3 here, which means the technical rating is fixed for all the companies. Now, let's look at the fundamental rating. Now, there is 2, 3 and 4 left, and we know that there are 4 companies which can be in B grade between 1 to 25 points. Now, if I get 2, 3 or 4 here, this company will be okay because there is no repetition of rating with technical rating, and as long as the product is below 25, I'm okay. Each of these 3 numbers will give me a rating of below 25, so I'm okay with that. So, here it can be either 2 or 3. And if it is 2 here, it can't be 2 here. So, it has to be 2 or 3 here. 4 is not possible. Here, it can't be 2. It has to be 3 or 4. So, any of these 3 numbers can sit in any of these places as long as they are satisfying the condition of not clashing with this rating. So, these are the ratings that we cannot fix. So, let's see if we can answer the questions. Which of the following statement is definitely true? The overall ratings of all companies can be determined uniquely. No, the overall rating of all the companies cannot be determined uniquely. The grades of all the 10 companies can be determined uniquely. Yes. Why? The B's have been fixed, have now been taken care of. All the others have been taken care of. The remaining 4 companies, 1, 2, 3 and 4 are B minuses. Therefore, the grades of all the 10 companies can be determined uniquely. Therefore, the answer is only 2, option B. Which of the following companies was assigned a B grade? We know the B grade companies are Q and S. So, from the options, it is company Q, option B. Then, how many companies received a fundamental rating of at least 4 and a technical rating of at least 6? Fundamental rating at least 4, we have ticked them earlier. 5, 8, 5, 7, 10, 6 and 9. And at least 4, meaning it can, we don't know which of the company is 4. So, we may need to keep that in mind and park that thought, but check the other one. And a technical rating of 6. Technical rating of 6, if you notice, none of these companies getting a, which could get a 4 is getting a 6. So, they are out anyways. So, within the remaining companies, which are the companies have got a technical rating of 6, 1, 2, at least 6, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of these 5 companies, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, do all of them have a fundamental rating of at least 4? Yes, 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 yes and yes. So, therefore, 5 will be the answer. So, all these cases have a fundamental rating of at least 4 and all these cases have a fundamental rate, have a technical rating of at least 5.